Hello, everyone. How are you all? How is the conference going so far? Great. You're enjoying it, the conference? Okay. So, are you excited about this session? Yes. Okay. I am also excited, just like you. So, to begin with, I just want to ask an awareness question. Are you aware that 40% of the websites on the internet are built on WordPress? Were you aware of that? No. So imagine even a small fraction of these 40% websites falls vulnerable to security threats. So, do you imagine what can happen if these websites get exposed to those threats? What will happen? Do you know that? Data breach. Okay. What kind of data breach? Yeah. But it can even worsen than just an user identity theft. Okay. So basically, cross site scripting, which is like abbreviately known as XSS. Now you might be wondering, like, how come cross site scripting called XSS? It should be called CSS, right? Cross, yeah. Because it was conflicting with our cascading style sheets, right? That's why its name was abbreviated as XSS and not CSS, right? So this is like one of those sneaky vulnerabilities. This is one of those sneaky vulnerabilities, and it slips in into the site, and if it is left undetected, then it can cause havoc on your site. And in the next slides, we will discover what havoc it can cause. Right? So, like before we dive into this session, I want to give you a brief introduction about myself. My name is Ishika Bansal, and from the last 2.5 years, I have been working at Mini Orange, and I have developed plugins and security solutions for WordPress site. And I'm passionate for helping business owners and developers in making their WordPress site secure from any threats, right? So, I just want to know what you will be getting in this session. So, today we will be exploring not just what an XSS attack is, but we will also be seeing what impact it can cause on the WordPress site. And like, as we know the impact of that, so we will also be discovering how to prevent that, right? Because prevention is better than cure, right? Okay, so now you might be wondering, like, what exactly an XSS attack is. Anybody have an idea about that? No. Okay, this session is about to give you that idea, right? So basically, it is the kind of attack where an attacker injects a malicious executable JavaScript code into your website. And like if you are the victim and you visit the site, then you fall prey to that attack. And that scripts run in your browser and it does what it is meant for, right? So, like now, you might be wondering, like we have talked about XSS. Now you start saying, what is it capable of doing, right? So, like depending on the script which gets executed, depending on that script, the attacker can gain access of the user's session. For example, you just went to visit a website. It was like a social media website, right? And you were just checking out a comment section, a basic comment section. You were just reading that comment section and your account got hacked, right? Can you imagine like what can be the impact of that? Your complete session can be hijacked. Your information can be stolen. Right now, we took the example of a social media website. If it is an e commerce website, your sensitive information can be stolen. For example, your credit card information. Attacker can also use the script to redirect you on a different website. And on that website, you can fall a victim of phishing attacks. Attacker can also change how the website looks. For example, you just visited the website, a script ran, and I am the attacker, and I have sent an information like your account got hacked. What you will feel, right? All right. So, like now, let's discuss how many types of accesses are there. How many types through which accesses attacks can be made. So, like there are two popular form of accesses attacks through which the attacker can steal your information. The first one is reflected accesses, and the second one is stored accesses. So, what is in reflected accesses? In reflected accesses, the attacker manipulates a URL and sends you that URL in the form of any emails or like any means. And when you just click that URL is just a manipulated URL of your WordPress site. And when you click on that URL, the script which the attacker has injected in that, it gets run and your information gets stolen. So, like how reflected accesses attack is different from stored accesses attack. So, in accesses attack, what happens is the attacker injects the script and it gets saved in the server of the website. So, whenever you are requesting any kind of information from the website, the script runs every time. In reflected accesses attack, only when you will click on the URL, the script will run at that time. But in stored accesses attack, the scripts run every time, single time when you request that information. So, it, between both of them, stored accesses is like worse than reflected accesses. Okay. So now we have already found like what an XSS attack is and how it can impact on your WordPress site. Now you might be wondering like how actually your site becomes vulnerable to the XSS attacks. Like we might have done something wrong, right? That's why it got vulnerable to those attacks. So basically, all kind of XSS attacks are somewhere related to inadequate input validation. Like you have missed some validations, and because of that, the script gets saved in your server and it gets executed again and again. So you might have missed some validations because of which your site gets vulnerable. Now, like are you aware like how can those validation go missing? In what forms? So basically, WordPress has plugins and themes, custom plugins and custom themes, which like we install to like smoothen our day-to-day activities. And like through those plugins and themes, those vulnerabilities can arise in your site. Second, it can arise through custom code. Like a lot of people, like if you would be a WordPress developer, then you might be aware that we can make changes to the WordPress core. So if you have made some changes, written some custom code, and like you have missed those validations, in that case as well, your site might become vulnerable to XSS attack. Okay, so let's understand like the attack as in whole, step by step what happens. So like there is an attacker which tries to inject the script into a web page, and if there are lack of validations on the site, that script gets saved into your server, and whenever a user, like the victim in our case, it is a user. So whenever the user requests some data from that server, it just sends that script, and because your browser is unaware, so that script runs. This is like basically the flow how an attack is implemented on your site. Okay, so like let's dig into it deeper, like how actually it happens. So basically, like this is a very basic form. This form is used to post a comment on a website. For example, like we took the example of a social media site, right? So this is a social media site and like we have a comment section. From that comment section, users can post their comments as well as users can read other users' comments, right? So like just look at this form, like does this seem fine to you? Yeah, it seems fine to you. Okay. So now, do you know that through this form, I can inject a malicious script into the server of the site? So take this example. Attacker injects this script into that text box and somehow it got submitted. How it got submitted? Because in your backend, there were lack of validations to identify that a script was sent in a text area. You did not validate your input and the form got submitted. Now, since the form got submitted, the script exists in your website server. See, this is the comment, which includes nice article and then the script which is there. So this comment is saved into your database. Now, whenever a user is requesting, like request in the form of viewing the comments, and this comment will be displayed every single time. And whenever this comment get displayed, and whoever the visitor, whoever the user is seeing that comment, this script will get executed every single time. Every time the page will be rendered, the comment page, this script will get executed every single time. And this was a basic script, but depends on the severity, your any type of information can be stolen from the script. And it can be sent to the attacker's side. All right. So, like we have discussed what an XSS attack is, what is its impact, and like the step-by-step execution of the attack. So, like there will absolutely be some steps which we can follow to prevent that, right? So, like first of all, we will be seeing the steps for WordPress developers. Like if you are a WordPress developer, then what can you do to prevent those attacks on your site? So, like you have, if you have listened carefully, then you might have known we are talking about input, data, validation, everything, right? So, it is all related to that. Basically, you need to validate every data which you are taking into your site. Like you just need to follow that mechanism that trust nothing and trust no one. If you are giving the user opportunity to interact and like post anything or any kind of input on your site, then you should always validate that input. So like there are 3 steps of input validation. First thing is sanitization. So what do you need to sanitize? Any kind of input which you are taking from user, you need to sanitize that input before saving it into your server, right? Second thing, you need to validate that data. Now, validation is more strict than sanitization. Because what validation means is, like, if there is an email field, then you should only accept the email values. You should accept no other values than email into that field. So, validation of data is kind of more strict than sanitization of data. Okay, now we have sanitized the data, we have validated the data, and we have saved that. But what if like there can be a cause of error, there can be chances of error, and in any case, like the script exists on your server. Now what you can do? So then the third step comes into role where you need to do the escaping of data. Where you would need to escape the data? Wherever you are displaying the output. For example, in the example which we have seen, we are displaying the comment section, right? But yeah, you all have said that that form was correct. But you know what that form was missing? That form was missing escaping of the comment text. If you would have escaped the comment text, then the script would not have saved or run on your website. So this is the last step where you escape the data and any kind of error like through which the script gets into your server, but it will not get executed when you escape the data. So WordPress, like by default, provides some function for sanitization, escaping, validating, everything. So like I have listed some basic functions. For example, sanitize text field, which is to sanitize your user input, which contains text. In the similar way, sanitize email is for sanitizing the values which contains emails. Now the third one is WP cases. For example, like you want an input to be an HTML field where you want to give a HTML string and you want to allow that. So that can be done through WP cases. In the similar way, there are escaping functions as well, like escape attribute. If you want to escape the value in an HTML attribute, then you can use the escape attribute. Escape URL, escape text area. These all are the functions which are provided default by WordPress and PHP to sanitize and escape your data. Okay. So like the last some actions were for the WordPress developers. Like if you are WordPress developers, then that was what you can do. But in case you are a WordPress site admin, then you would not need to go into the code and those details. You should do some extra level of validation if you are a WordPress site admin. So like in the reasons we have already seen that plugins and themes can be the reason through which your website becomes vulnerable to XSS attack. So what you can do is you can ensure that all your WordPress core plugins and themes are regularly updated, like you do not miss an update, because like it's a very common scenario where like a plugin or theme can be vulnerable, but the developer or maybe the company which has those plugins, they make regular updates, so you need to keep them updated. The second thing is you should not trust any kind of plugin which are like not from a verified company or something like that. So you should not install those plugins and themes into your site. Okay, like even if you have done, like you have not you have updated and everything is done, so what extra thing you can do? You can run periodic scans of your website to check like if your website is vulnerable to any attack. So there are some tools provided, which is like WP scan and plugin check plugin. So you should always validate that your site is free of any vulnerability. And lastly, like if there is any change which is going on into your site, it should be thoroughly reviewed and tested. Right? Okay, so this was for WordPress site admins. Now there is one more basic thing which you can do if you are a normal site user. So you should install some extensions like no script extensions so that your browser does not execute any unnecessary script from an unverified source. So that we can do as normal website users as well. Like it does not mean if we need to do these things, if we are admins or developers. You can do that as a normal site user as well. Right? All right. I think that was my time. So any questions? I think like that this topic would be very new for some of you. Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for the session, ma'am. The question is very basic from my side. That XSS only implements on WordPress or other sites also.
It gets applied everywhere.
Everywhere it can
Yeah,
be.
yeah. Like any web application can be vulnerable to XSS attacks. Yeah. Actually, like the severity depends only on the script which gets run on your browser. So like even the stored accesses attack can be very severe, even the reflected accesses attack can be very severe. It just depends on the script which is sent to that.
But like in stored accesses, it might get as bad as defacement, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
what would, like, just to name one, what would be a severe attack in context of reflected excesses?
In terms of reflected accesses, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so in terms of reflexes excesses attack, I would say that the severe excesses attack would be when, for example, like you have dynamic web page generation on your site. For example, like you switch tabs on the basis of user input, and like in the tab name you have sent some script, so that will be executed every time you change the tab.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but still stored accesses would be a bit more severe because it is saved into your server. That's the thing. Yeah. Okay, so I would really love to hear your feedback about this session. So you can scan this QR and let me know how it was. Also, these are my sources of contact. You can find me on LinkedIn from my name, Ishika Bansal. And this is my email address through which you can reach out in case like you have questions in future. So thank you very much.